Yo guys, it's Bad Drew here, and we just realized that the lighting was really dark, so we're sorry. We're still gonna upload it. Just no green screen shenanigans.
It's about to rain.
And it's about to flood, so we're getting the fuck out of here. Bye.
Coming to the ring, pre-recorded from Baltimore, Maryland, the Young and the
Four, three, two, one. Welcome to Young and the Restless. I'm Andrew.
I'm Brian.
I'm Nick.
And let's start off talking about
What a week it's been.
Black Wednesday Part 2 or Black Tuesday Part 3, whichever one you want to call it.
Gray Wednesday.
Gray Wednesday. So,
Alistair Black Wednesday.
yes. Okay, so do you guys want to talk about a little bit while I pull up the list?
We had some releases in WWE. Some big ones, some small ones, and Lana. But fucking out of nowhere, we had Braun Strowman, which was a huge one.
We had Aleister Black.
Which is probably the most confusing one since they had just started pushing him again.
Yeah, like they just started it. Oh,
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun,
I
dun.
forgot to turn that off. Sorry.
It's all good.
We're new. New to the game.
So Aleister Black just started a storyline last week, and now he's gone.
Yeah, and then you had Braun Strowman,
Who was making $1 million a year.
and I feel like the biggest thing with Braun Strowman is that they put so much time and money behind him that it was almost like they were just like, did they just decide to cut their losses? Like,
I have a theory.
do you want to talk about that now, or do you want to
Yeah,
go
let's
through the
go
rest?
through them all.
Okay. And then you have Lana, Mrs. Miro.
Which we know she'll end up in AEW.
She just signed another huge deal too. Murphy, who was a part of the Mysterio thing, and
With-
Seth Rollins,
Yeah.
Monday Night Messiah. And people were weirded out that Murphy
That was a huge storyline for a
yeah,
while.
and that Murphy was dating a 19-year-old on screen.
Yeah.
You had Ruby Riott, who I think was like the only good female tag team wrestler, like legit tag team wrestler, and then Santana Garrett, who made her debut at Royal Rumble, was technically signed to SmackDown, and then was due to make her SmackDown debut this Friday, as in tomorrow.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Tomorrow, June 4th, yeah. Sorry, I set it to sleep instead of this morning. Yeah, so sorry. So let's go down this list here of the Sports Illustrated headlines. So Braun Strowman. You had a theory, Nick?
I have a couple theories in all.
Well, let's
about
just
it.
talk about it, man. Break
So-
it down.
I want to go. I guess we'll start with Braun. I think he never really liked wrestling. He got basically handpicked to be a wrestler
Because he was a strong
because
man.
he was a strong man,
And then he wasn't making any money.
and he needed to find a way to make money. Right?
Yeah.
So, I feel like the next logical thing for him would be to go into movies, not wrestle anymore, because he wasn't very good.
He was in a couple of movies and he was pretty good in them. I mean, he was the big monster guy.
But
yeah.
I mean, yeah, like what he was always kind of good at was like engaging with people, which I think he'll do better with on screen than
Yeah, I feel like if
just power slamming people all the time.
I feel like if he takes a couple of acting classes.
He could be pretty good.
Yeah.
There's also a possibility that he'll get rehired once WWE sells.
Yeah.
Which
So
is what's happening, I feel.
I
yeah,
think so.
I think-
yeah, 100%.
When any company just starts laying off assets, it's
So
because
when
they're-
they start merging two
Yeah.
different graphics departments into one, and like, yeah, they did say the pandemic made them realize that they were doubling up, but like you have to realize like graphics for the internet and graphics for TV are two separate things, and then they just like folded them together.
yeah, I mean, it happens in sports, not so much like selling the team, but like you release a bunch of players and you go, hey, wink wink, when we regain a lot of the money that we are regaining from losing you, we'll give you a call back.
Yeah.
Just don't do anything, but like in 6
Oh.
months, like, hey, we'll get you back.
And then
Then you can restructure the contract and kind of renew it with like new deals that are happening within the Players Association and whatever.
do you think if WWE sells that they'll finally unionize and like give them health care?
I think they would end up giving them health care.
I think they would, because I mean, obviously, they're more than likely they're going to sell it to like NBC. That's what
Okay,
I'm assuming.
let's talk about. Okay, so now that we're talking about selling, okay, so there are two. So they have a deal with Fox that not Tony Khan, Nick Khan made for them, the guy that replaced the two people. He comes from Hollywood, and he's the one that negotiated the $1 billion deal for SmackDown, and then he's the one that negotiated the $1 billion deal
Nick
for...
Khan's been there for a while.
Yeah, he's been there for a year about now. But they just promoted him to the board, is what the dirt sheets are saying, is that he has like more power than Brother Love now. Whoever, I forget his name.
Bruce Pritchard.
Yeah, so he essentially has more power than them. So what I think they're doing is they're kind of setting him up to be like Vince's right-hand man, and then once they sell, he's going to be the one like essentially making the deals and stuff. Stephanie, Triple H are probably going to switch to like the creative, and then Vince McMahon is going to sit back and collect a fat check and then still call them and harass them thinking it's still his company.
Vince McMahon can still technically be the CEO and sell the company if Nick Khan becomes the CFO and does all of the acquisitions and money transfers and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you think they'll keep a McMahon on like if NBC buys it?
On the board, I would assume would be some sort of like president.
It would be.
Kinda deal.
It would like honestly like this is something fans have been saying for a while now, but like Vince McMahon is so out of touch. The motherfucker didn't know what a burrito was. He still doesn't know what a burrito is. He doesn't like you burping or farting or wearing a scarf around him. You can't sneeze. Like, he's just a really eccentric guy. And I feel like the smart move would be to be like, hey, if we give you X amount of dollars for your company, the only deal is you have to step down because the Raw product is so bad right now. Like, it is.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say is, so you guys think NBC... Because they're also talking about Fox/Disney,
which would be terrible.
Which would be terrible, but at the same time, it's just like I feel like I'm siding with the NBC thing because with Peacock, the network's already there. So
yeah, I think they had a long plan when they got the rights for Peacock. I think they knew that they were going to end up buying the shit.
Yeah, and Universal does have the money with Peacock to
I had feedback.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have turned my head.
They do have the money with the revenue that Peacock is bringing in to buy out the Fox contract, possibly.
Yeah.
If Disney lawyers let them, because
it just makes sense. I mean, for one, like you can't let. Well, I think Vince is smart enough to know that he can't just let him die without doing something with the company in the long run, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure. I mean, Shane has been vocal about how he doesn't really want to be a head runner.
Yeah.
Like, he likes coming in and doing his spots.
He left.
But he only comes and goes when, like, Vince is like, come on, son, I need you for a month.
Yeah. And so I feel like, honestly, like, the legit move would be to make Stephanie the CEO and then have Triple H be, like, the head of creative.
Yeah.
But
Triple H will end up being head of creative.
yeah, like
maybe it'll be a better product.
It'd be better than Bruce Pritchard being head of creative.
Yeah, I mean, dude, when we looked at it, like when Paul Heyman was in charge of Raw, it was awesome. It was the shit.
I wouldn't say it was awesome,
but it was better than it is now. It's awesome compared to now. Like,
it is crazy to think. Like, do you think Triple H thought that he was automatically going to get the company because he fucked his way in, married the boss's daughter, and now he's like, fuck, I'm not just going to get it?
I mean, I'm sure 20 years ago he probably thought that.
Yeah.
But I feel like he understands his role and what he wants his role to be now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at what he did with NXT, like, that's amazing.
I mean, I have no problem with the cuts. I always thought their roster was way too large. Like, it's one thing to make a paycheck and sit around and do nothing, but it's another thing for a company to just be wasting money for product they're not doing anything with.
7 months. Aleister Black wasn't on TV for 7 months.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to me.
And I bet a lot of it probably has to do with whoever is buying it being like, look, like, we're already in the midst of a lot of stories. why we keep pushing more stuff when we already have stuff going? It's like, get rid of assets and like let's try to use what we got and just do something with it.
Hopefully this doesn't fuck. Well, hopefully AEW doesn't fuck themselves and just start buying up all this random talent.
Which would be bad.
So my theory / what I thought was going on was that so when AEW came to town, that's when Lana, Braun Strowman, Aleister Black, all these people signed these multi-year $1 million deals. And then now that they're like thinking about selling, they're like AEW isn't necessarily as much of a threat as they thought they were. That's when the first Black Tuesday happened. And then Black Wednesday happened earlier this year. And then now we're seeing like the big ticket items. Finally, it's essentially the Dogecoin dump. You know, they dumped all this money into these people, waiting for it to go up and up and up, and it's just going down, down, down. So they dumped on the return.
I mean, it makes sense. It's like, to bring back to a sports aspect. Like if the sports team has the money to keep a high player, they will to avoid a competition taking him, and then they'll realize that they don't need that high player anymore, and they're cutting them. If essentially does nothing to their bank account.
The Yankees.
Exactly, the Yankees.
The Montreal, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Like, you know.
Oh, yeah, I need you to explain that to me later, because I saw people burning jerseys. We don't have to talk about it on here, but I don't know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, it's just it was their first time in the playoffs since like 2004. A bunch of people were just like super amped about it. It's like every Caps fan, they blew it, and then people are just burning their jerseys now. And I'm like, haha, you already spent like $30 to $150 depending on if it's a bootleg or an official one. Like that's like when there was a certain political show that had a Keurig sponsor dump out because of things that they were saying, and then there was videos of people breaking their Keurigs. I'm like, you already gave Keurig money for that.
Yeah,
like stop it. But anyways, back to wrestling.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's nuts, man. Just because we're here to record something else, and now we're talking about this, and that's crazy. So
that's life, baby.
That's life.
There's some that I wouldn't mind going to AEW.
Ooh, who?
I mean, mostly just the female talent, because I feel like they need to bolster their female roster.
I hope
Aleister
like honestly, like I feel like because we were talking about this watching the pay-per-view, and then we watched part of Elevation last night, or the other night, where I was like, the thing is like AEW has such like so many people that you don't even realize that like if you want to get the full spectrum of the story, you need to watch Dark, Elevation, and Dynamite, and now Rampage. And there is no easy way unless you have a cable subscription to go back and watch. So BR Sports does have Dynamite on it, but it's on a 2-week delay.
I'm guessing when Rampage comes out, a lot's going to change.
Yeah, I'm hoping
the way they have subscription services and shit.
Because back when they were first murmurs about, you know, AEW Dynamite and stuff like that, and then HBO Max came out, they were like, hey, we already have TNT shit on here. We put weekly stuff on here all the time. Like they were talking about putting AEW on there. I was like, oh my god, this is my dream. I get this with my phone. This is awesome. And then now I'm just like, now I just watch it for the Conjuring movies and Harry Potter and the Snyder Cut. But anyways, so again, that was. Come on, Sports Illustrated. Why isn't my pop-up blocker working? Braun Strowman, I could see Aleister Black going and being like working his way like playing the whole Tommy End character and working his way from Dynamite to Elevation, or I mean from Dark to Dynamite to Elevation.
I feel like I'd rather see him go to Japan.
I would love him in New Japan as well, or even another one of those.
I feel like AEW has a lot of kind of like spooky tattooed guys.
Yeah, like he would be cool in the Dark Order, but the Dark Order is
already huge,
and they're already a comedy act now. Yeah. Like they're all faces. Like I would
maybe they'll get serious again and get a new
and then
leader.
there were talks like again on the dirt sheets. Like these are all just rumors. Handfuls of Morton salt coming in, but
you love the dirt sheets.
I love them, dude.
I hate going on the internet and reading anything.
Really? I know you watch all the videos on YouTube. I do too.
Yeah, I watch Wrestle Talk. I watch What Culture. I just love catching up.
Does it just ruin it for you, or
I love
is
WrestleMania?
It just not enough factual.
I think it's a lot because I think it's a lot of hearsay.
Yeah,
but that's what all news is. All news is hearsay.
I know, and I don't watch any of it.
I'm 33 years old. I watch the news now at 5 o'clock.
Like there's some What Culture stuff I like.
Like, I like their lists. I like their what ifs. I like the fantasy booking. I like the why series, like why Raw is so shitty. Like, I like Simon Miller's takes on it. But I also like those people, like, so, like, for example, like, I know there are certain people on Walt Culture and certain people on Wrestle Talk who I'm like, I don't necessarily agree with their thoughts, like their predictions, so I just don't watch those videos. But then again, that's what Trump supporters do.
But that's
Sorry,
also
you can
their
blur
whole
that.
thing. I mean, at the end of the day, they're trying to make money, so they're clickbait articles, and
that's why I don't read the articles. I watch the articles.
But, I mean, same thing. They get paid by YouTube.
Yeah, but yeah. So again, that was Braun Strowman, Aleister Black, Lana, Murphy. I would love to see him in like Mexico, like for like AAA. That'd be tight.
Murphy?
Yeah.
Murphy would do good in Japan as well.
Yeah. Ruby Riott, she's crazy. And then Santana Garrett, like, I don't know enough. Like, I literally only saw her in the Royal Rumble. Like, that's it. Like, I don't know too much about her. Yeah, so speaking of career deaths, today's episode is about wrestlers dead before 50.
Yeah.
Sorry to laugh. That was just like a weird transition
It's
thing.
funny.
Haha, you know.
Yeah, we have a list.
Yeah, so if you go to wrestlerdeaths.com,
That's a website.
that is an actual
Right.
website.
Someone put a lot of time into it.
And then
Dude,
there's a dead before 50, and it's alphabetical order. So what I was thinking is we could just hop through some of these.
You
Maybe
have
if
it?
we-
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it right
All
here.
right, pull it up.
Maybe if we maybe talk about them, we can skip over the ones we don't really know that much about.
Yeah.
Just, you know, memories and all that. You're gonna cry with the third one.
Oh, it's
All right.
Benoit.
Close. So first, this is alphabetical order. Adrian Adonis, dead at 33. He was the flamboyant English
Yeah, English
wrestler.
guy.
Yeah.
Pretty sure a car accident, right?
Oh, you can click on it
This
and it
could be a
tells you.
fun game. Have Nick guess how they died.
Car accident! Ding, ding, ding! This is how you got that belt. Yeah. So
This is a
yeah,
new
and
game we
if you
have.
click on each one, I didn't even do that. If you click on each one, it tells you name, how they died, their age, and then a little blurb, and then their biography, and then all the way at the end how they died.
Nice.
So
Adrian Adonis. I like it.
car accident 33. Andre the Giant
Oh, so sad.
46. He died from heart failure.
In France,
In France.
Yes.
after his dad's death.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
I watched the documentary.
So Nick, you ready to cry?
Sure.
Andrew Test Martin.
What is with this test thing? I don't
Drug
get it.
overdose.
He OD'd because Triple H slept with his girl.
Kelly
I
Kelly.
actually don't really know.
Test was dating Kelly Kelly when he died?
Stephanie McMahon, right?
No, Stephanie McMahon was his on-screen character. That was in '99.
I'm
he
pretty
died
sure
in 2000.
that they were actually a real couple.
Test took part in several memory storylines, including one involving engagement to Stephanie McMahon, and then the other Stephanie is an ad. This website is covered in ads that I can't close.
It's whatever.
Yeah, but yeah, so
he OD'd.
no, but because that's like the one thing about Kelly Kelly that I know is that she was dating Test when he died. So
Man, that sucks.
yeah, but he was on PWI like 50, like it's crazy. Test, R.I.P. buddy. I like Test because he had the same name as me. Test Wayne Johnson. My nickname is Andrew. Speaking of another Andrew, Andy Kaufman. Would you consider him a wrestler?
Sure.
Okay, he was dead at 35.
I mean,
Cancer?
more of a comedian, but
Great part of wrestling.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have Anthony Durante. Don't know who that is.
No.
Wait. Before we go any further, how many of
I know.
these are there?
There's this
There's
many.
a lot. Just go
I'm
through-
just gonna pick the ones that I know.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna get to like F and just be exhausted.
Ashley Massaro.
That's one who died like
She
2
died
years
recently. Yep.
Yeah,
Drug overdose.
yeah, that was another overdose.
ago? So much. drugs.
Undisclosed causes. 79 to 29, she was 39. Or 1979 to 2019, she was 39 years old.
There's going to be a reoccurring theme where most of these are going to be ODs or suicides.
Speaking of another OD, I remember covering this on my old podcast. Axel Rotten,
Yeah.
drug overdose at a McDonald's in Linthicum.
Yeah, that one sucked.
Wait, that was here?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So was he from Maryland? Because I know Country Strong
He,
brought
he's,
him
Yes.
up.
he's from Glen Burnie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was it was weird because like we used to hang out a lot and he was always on heroin and it was really sad to watch. Just
Was he like visibly
He
on
was
heroin?
found.
Yeah.
He was found dead in a McDonald's bathroom in Lithicum, Maryland, from a heroin overdose. He was also in a wheelchair when it happened.
Fuck, that's so
yeah, he
sad.
couldn't.
His life was fucked. Like most people are like, oh, like think of Jake the Snake, and go like 2 Jake the Snakes below that. That's how under the ground he was.
I wouldn't go that far.
I'm just saying, man.
And
Like,
I knew the guy. I hung out with the guy.
I mean, I'm just saying, man. From what I understand, I was saying like Jake the Snake. Like people are like, oh man, he has like the most sad story. I'm like, Axl Rotten's story is pretty fucking sad too. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, like he did it to himself.
if that's what you say, buddy.
There's so many people I knew over the years who were on heroin, and I never knew they were on heroin when they were on heroin.
Oh yeah, like the air, like
Nah.
to make a dumb joke, heroin's one hell of a drug. Like it's like that's the one thing. I smoked heroin once, and I was like, I'm never doing this again.
Do you hear that, guys?
I also smoked crack and meth. Yeah.
I've never done any of that.
So, do you
was
want to go
fucking wild.
Axl Rotten a little bit more? You want to move on?
It's fine.
Okay. Balls Mahoney, dead at 44.
Is
From
that
a
ECW?
heart
I think he had a
attack.
heart attack. Yeah.
Yeah, he was ECW. Balls Mahoney. Bam Bam Bigelow, dead at 45.
That was a shame.
Drug overdose. That's one that hurt a lot. Big Boss Man, dead at 41.
Was he still with WWE when he died?
Let's find out. 2004.
I mean, it was definitely like
He was in
around
the.
then. He was like the corporate thing.
That's the last I remember of him was corporate.
Because he died
ministry?
in 2004. And
That was like in the ruthless aggression era.
yeah, I don't think he was a part of that. It says death in young wrestlers, as many pro wrestlers have died young. This list, along with Big Boss Man being a notable one, rate is about 10 times that as football players. Probably should have led off with that. Yeah, it doesn't say if he was with them, but it lists off like a bunch of other wrestlers. Big Daddy V, aka Viscera.
That was like just a
That hurt. We were on tour when that happened. It was 2014.
Big,
He was just so
man.
big.
Yeah.
Your heart can't hold all that weight.
No, like I
Can't keep
think,
up.
like that's like that one thing that's like pushing me to like lose weight is like I was never as big as him or like Yokozuna or something like that.
No, not even
But still,
close.
like when I was like 290 pounds, I was like 25 years old, and I was on fucking I was on blood thinners because I had high cholesterol.
Yeah,
like that's
crazy.
like, and then that's when I was just like, yeah, 258.
killing
we're
it, dog.
killing it.
You
Yep.
look great.
After that, oh well. By the way, Big Daddy V was dead at 43. Big Dick Dudley, 34. Anybody remember him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the many children of Mama Dudley.
Big John Studd.
I know Big John Studd.
47. Liver cancer
it's
and
cancer.
Hodgkin's disease.
Is Hodgkin's just cancer? I feel stupid even asking.
I actually
it.
have no idea.
Hodgkin's lymphoma. What is it was classified as non-Hodgkin's. Hold on, let me just look up Hodgkin's.
Well, he didn't do that one to himself. Aside from the liver stuff, he
Hodgkin's
probably
disease is
drank
a
a
type of
lot.
lymphoma, which the blood cancer that starts in the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system helps immune system get rid of waste and fight infections. HD is also known as Hodgkin disease, Hodgkin lymphoma, and Hodgkin's lymphoma.
We're like WebMD here.
Yeah. Brian Christopher Lawler.
Yeah, he killed himself.
In a police station, right? Or something like that?
I don't know.
Or was that Jeffrey Epstein? I think it was something like that, though.
Lawler was 20. You're thinking of Aaron Rodriguez.
No, I'm thinking of him too, maybe.
Was arrested
No,
after
A-Rod
police
is
spotted
still
his vehicle speeding and swerving. When police attempted to pull him over, Lawler refused to stop. When he finally did come to a stop, police said Lawler reeked of booze and had an open container in his vehicle. He's arrested and booked in a Memphis jail. On July 28th, Lawler tried to hang himself in his jail cell, was rushed to the hospital, put on life support where he would not recover. Sadly,
yeah, I
Lawler
was
had
right.
his
You're
demons.
right.
He Aaron
He
Rodgered
Epsteined
himself. He Epsteined him before Epstein.
He what? Aaron Rodgers himself.
The guy from the Patriots. that killed the dude?
It wasn't Aaron Rodgers.
Not Aaron Rodgers. Hernandez. Aaron Rodgers is the clean-cut guy that hosts Jeopardy from the Packers. Okay. You know what I mean.
accurate on here.
I love football. Brian Pillman.
Well, we know how that one did. Dark Side of the Ring, baby.
Season 3, episodes 1 and 2. Check it out. Dead at 35. Now, here's one that this one personally affected me, and I don't understand why. Brody Lee, dead at 41.
Oh, that was so sad.
So when I found out about Brody Lee, like, I texted Becky, and I was just like, that was the first time, other than, like, an actor I truly loved and, like, followed their career, that I was just, like, destroyed. I was just, like, for no reason. I didn't know this man. I wasn't a huge fan of the character. But, like, when I read that, I was just, because he was just shit on his entire career in WWE, and then was on this upswing and was finally, like, doing awesome man, I'm gonna cry. Was doing, like, awesome things, and then just went, like, my mom just went to the hospital for a checkup, and then just didn't come home.
His was some respiratory thing.
Yeah, it
right?
was.
It wasn't COVID related.
No, lung complications. He literally went in to just get, like, a routine operation or like a routine procedure done, and then just didn't wake up.
That's fucking
nuts. Like, it's fucked up. And then that whole show on AEW, like Becky and I watched that. I was just like, just like crying the whole time.
Kids out there and shit.
-1.
-1.
TNT
dude.
champion for life. Here's another one that kind of sucks. Bruiser Brody, 42, murdered in Puerto Rico.
That was way different.
Another dark side. No, but he was clutching onto his kid's picture, and Tony Atlas rushed him into a cab because an ambulance couldn't get through the crowd.
How was he murdered?
He was stabbed. He was stabbed by who was the wrestler? He was
Sid Vicious with the scissors.
Pretty much. Not Sid. Jose Gonzalez claimed self-defense and was acquitted, but he was like a huge wrestler in Puerto Rico.
He was stabbed in the showers. Is that
he was having like an argument with like somebody. Tony Atlas was like drawing. Bruiser Brody gave Tony Atlas a picture of his son and was like, "Hey, can you draw a picture of my son?" And he was like, "Yeah." So he's doing that, and then he heard this, and then the owner of the Dark Side of the Ring and like what the many online documentaries and articles I read said was that the promoter and Jose Gonzalez pulled him into the shower. They heard yelling and screaming. They heard somebody get thrown into a locker, and then you hear Bruiser Brody screaming, "Oh, God damn it. Oh, fuck. What did you do?" And he falls through the door, and he's just bleeding. Like, he was just stabbed. And Tony Atlas, like, came to him immediately.
Yeah, it's one of those things where no one really knows, because the only people there aren't going to say what happened.
Yeah, you have Tony Atlas that's, like, saying his truth. You have the people from Puerto Rico being like, it was self-defense. Bruiser Brody was the one that pulled the shiv out, and Jose got it out of him and stabbed him. You have who's the other guy? We the People.
Jake Hager?
No,
His
Zeb
manager.
Coulter.
Zeb Coulter was there too, and
like,
but
this
he was
weird
he was an Abdullah the Butcher. So Bruiser and Butcher were supposed to go at Abdullah, Zeb Coulter, and I think the Iron Sheik, or maybe the one. They were there and wrestling, and then they came back and saw like Tony Atlas like rushing Bruiser, and they're like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Jose stabbed Bruiser," like, you know, like all that kind of stuff. So, and then the police came. The police came, and they thought it was all just like a story. They thought it was, you know, because in Puerto Rico they were just like, "Oh, these are wrestlers. Like, these are what wrestlers do."
These crazy wrestlers.
Yeah.
The young and the restless.
I don't know a bunch of these people. Your man. We're at the B's. We're technically at the C's. Christopher Benoit.
He was one of my favorite wrestlers until the whole murder
He was murdered by bees. No, he was committed suicide.
Yes.
We all know that story.
Yeah.
Sorry to laugh a little bit. This name's popping out at me. I'm not sure why. Chris Candido.
Candido.
He was Sonny. He was with Sonny.
It's like Sonny's. It was actually Sonny's boyfriend.
Yeah,
like
and
real life boyfriend.
died of pneumonia at the age of 33.
Yeah, he was part of I think it was like Skip and Chip or whatever.
Oh, Chuck and
yeah,
Chuck and Buck or whatever.
Yeah, it was
names
like
when
Chuck-
they got married.
No,
Yeah.
That's Chuck and Billy.
that's that's different.
That's different.
Billy Gunn and
Chuck
Chuck
Palumbo.
Shows you how much I know.
But Chris Candido, pneumonia.
He was in ECW, but he was in the early '90s version of WWF, which is how Sonny got the job. And they broke up, and he went to ECW
Okay.
and died.
But she kept going.
She kept going.
Fucking.
All right. More C's. So these are alphabetical by first name. Here we go again. Chris Canyon.
Love Chris Canyon.
That's a sad one.
I wonder how that dark side's gonna be.
Chris
Canyon was
suicide
awesome.
in 2010. A few weeks prior to the Chris Canyon death, a former wrestler apparently told family that he wanted to kill himself. They don't know if they believed him or not. On April 2nd, 2010, Chris Canyon took what was left in a bottle of antidepressants in order to end his own life at the age of 40. His body was found by his brother Ken. His place of death was Sunnyside in Queens. The wrestler left behind a suicide note with an apology to his family.
It's horrible, man.
Whew.
I mean, to be that sad and just not want to be here anymore, like, and still be so apologetic to your family, like, that's nuts.
Did you have anything to say, Nick? Because I had like a realization in the car. So like me being like 33, turn 34, I don't really think about death that much. I'm just like, oh, it's like a couple years in the future, or like a couple years meaning like a couple decades in the future. But I was like, I'm gonna live. I was like, all my family lived to be at least 70, so I was like, at least I'm gonna make it, 30, 36 more years. But the thing with that though is I started thinking about it like when I was driving. I was like, what happens when you die? Like, what if there is a heaven?
This
This is a different podcast.
Different
Yeah,
podcast,
this is a
yeah.
whole
But
different
anyways, yeah. So, but I finally like had that
Young and the
thing.
Restless, the afterlife.
No, but I was thinking about it, and I was just like, I never really thought about it like
You've
that
never
deeply.
thought about that?
I've never taken like 10 minutes out of my day to just be like,
Oh, you can't take 10 minutes.
No, it's
Yeah.
it's a wormhole. It's not a fun one.
Yeah,
you
so,
just go inside the brain.
yeah. So I was just like, no. I was like, is it just like lights out? I don't know. But anyways, I've never thought about killing myself, but yeah, you can cut all this if you want. I think I say that at least once an episode, sometimes twice.
What? That I've never thought about killing.
No, you can cut this if you want. Next up, we have Chris Von Erich of the Von Erichs. He was
Is that
not
the
the
one
one
with
that.
one leg? One leg?
No,
One egg?
This is the one that did commit suicide in
committed suicide.
1991. He was the first one, I believe, to commit suicide. Then you have China, dead at 46. I remember exactly where I was. I was hosting a video game tournament. We were doing a No Mercy Royal Rumble, where people would pass the corners. Last person to survive won, and China died, or we got word that China passed away, and we were all like super bummed. We started drinking a lot, and then and then some dude started the next tournament. So it was 2 Royal Rumbles. He started the next one. He started with China at number 1 and went coast to coast, and he ended up winning the entire tournament with her.
And where's that man at now?
He lives in Denver now. He works as an IT guy for a pot farm.
There you go, the American dream.
Thanks, Ken. Yeah. Crash Holly, 32.
It's another bummer.
Another suicide. Seeing a lot of things here. Crush at 43.
I believe that was a drug overdose.
Who's Crush?
Nick, you don't know Crush? He was the guy that had the Crush on his thing. It was early 90s. He looked like the Crush.
Kind of had that Sting makeup a little bit. He did. He did 2 things. Because he did that like a super like.
He was also
a biker.
a biker with 8-ball.
Yeah.
Oh! Yeah, I know that dude.
Yeah. He was also in Demolition.
Yeah, I know him from Demolition.
Yeah. Dead at 43 of a drug overdose. So I guess we're gonna go with the Nick confirming.
We should start seeing if you can guess them.
He has been.
Yeah, I know. That's why we gotta keep up with it.
Start a counter. Kurt Hennig at 44.
I believe that it was also a drug overdose.
It was in 2003. Davey Boy Smith at 39.
I think that was a heart attack.
It was.
Holy shit!
David
is like
Von
your
Erich.
Sixth Sense.
David Von Erich, dead at 25.
David?
David.
Oh, man. Was that suicide or was that the drowning?
Unknown causes.
I think
So
it was the
drowning.
Oh,
I was a
damn,
drowning
dude.
suicide, essentially. We'll
Yeah.
give it to you. Dino Bravo.
He was murdered.
He was, yes. Drug connections. Earth.
Whoa.
That's a dark side of the ring. Becky watched that one on her own, and that's what made her fall in love with
Oh,
the show.
it is. It's like a first
It's
season
the death of
one.
Gorgeous Gino,
Yeah.
season 1, or I believe it's season
It's
2.
on Hulu right now. I know that.
Season 1 and 2 definitely are Hulu. Earthquake.
Oh, earthquake. I mean, I don't know. Probably a heart attack.
Bladder cancer.
Bladder cancer. Look at that.
Bladder
That one's
cancer
a
at
bummer.
42.
You don't hear about bladder cancer often.
No,
Yeah.
he was holding his pee for too long. That's what I used to think caused it. It may.
My
I
mom
don't
told
even
my
know.
mom told me if I held my pee too long, my pee would fall off.
Dude, that's a big fear.
When I was a
What
kid,
if your dick falls off?
dude, just waking up one day.
Did that happen to anybody?
I don't know yet. We're at Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero, 38.
I know this one.
I mean, I guess they're going to say heart failure, but
Atherosclerotic
Yeah.
cardiovascular disease.
but it was heart failure based around other circumstances.
Roids, and I ain't talking
Yeah.
about Hemis.
Hemis.
Esposito. Mini Vader.
What the fuck is
I thought it
Mini
was Vader. He was a little Latinx
Oh,
Mini Vader.
Dude,
Okay.
I've never seen that guy in my life.
So he's a small person wrestler.
I got it by little.
Yeah, Mini Vader, Mini Vader. But he unknown causes. Giant Gonzalez, dead at 44.
Probably smothered in
I know
that
this
costume.
one. I know this one. They do a whole thing about it on like What Culture did a whole. I know we just talked about how you don't watch
Yeah,
What Culture, but
yeah.
they
I mean, the only thing I know Giant Gonzalez from is that really awful Undertaker WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
The outdoor.
I don't think he ever had any other match in WWE. Not that I can remember.
I know he had that muscle suit.
And
That's all I know.
I'm sure he did have another match, but I can't. I mean, he was tall. I mean, he probably died from the same thing that most people.
But he wasn't a.
Diabetes.
He wasn't a.
diabetes.
Diabetes. He had diabetes, and his handler, I believe, was I forget who it was, but he'd always just be like, I'm hungry, like I need to eat, because he was so big. And I believe it was Bruce Pritchard or Jimmy Hart. One
What
of
was
those.
that accent?
He that's the accent that they made. It was a little, south of the border one. He's from south of the border. I believe so. I don't know.
I believe so.
Giant Gonzalez. I don't want to get canceled, like
no.
Ellie Kemper.
Oh yeah, I just heard about all that. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I don't
It's
know how I feel
fucking
about it.
nuts.
He's from Argentina. That is technically south of the border, correct?
Dude, sure,
I mean-
man.
I'm not good at geography.
I mean, it's South America.
It's next to Chile. So yes.
you keep doing it.
Because that's how they're pronounced.
You just pulled yourself out of the hole.
But that's how Chile is pronounced. It's not pronounced Chile. It's Chile. Like,
It's not how you said it, though.
it's a Chile. Like, my parents lived in Spain. My brother, I assume, is Spanish. But anyways, John Gonzalez, he died of diabetes. Moving on.
Yeah, pick an American name.
Gino Hernandez.
Gino Hernandez.
He was 28.
I have no idea who that is.
He was
that famous
he
from
was
Gino's
WCCW, operated by Fritz. He was part of the dynamic duo with Chris Adams. It was drug overdose. I wanted to talk about this one. Hana Kimura. She's the one that got cyberbullied. 22
Oh, the Japanese wrestler.
earlier last year.
Yeah, that was fucking horrible.
She was a part of. So I didn't know this. I was talking with Becky's roommate about her and how we were doing an episode about early wrestler deaths. She was like, "Oh, are you going to talk about Kimura?" And I was like, "Who's that?" And she was like, "She was on this show. She was a reality star. She got cyberbullied.
She was a reality star?
She was on a show that's on Netflix, and so it was. It's essentially like Real World meets like like Big Brother. Like the way she was describing it was like Big Brother. It was just 6 Japanese people living in a house, 3 dudes, 3 girls. Sometimes they make out, sometimes they have sex, sometimes they hate each other, and apparently a dude, one of her housemates washed her wrestling costume and destroyed it. And she didn't blow up on him, but very calmly like described like, hey, that was very disrespectful. Like, I paid for that with my own money. I make my money with that. All this other stuff. And according to my girlfriend's roommate, she said that that's very a faux pas in Japanese culture. Like, women don't speak up to men like that. They don't speak to men like that.
Yeah.
And it caused a huge online backlash, and she ended up killing herself. Yeah, it's all right here.
That's fucking horrible.
Yeah, but the show is on Netflix if you want to watch like that scene break down. Yeah.
No.
I think I'm good.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
That's not how I want to have fun.
Yeah, I don't want to.
to.
Hey, be cool. Like, no, I'm good.
I'm on enough antidepressants.
A bunch of these people. I know this guy, Joey Morella, the ref, died in a car accident.
Yep.
Yep. Johnny Grunge, 39, part of Public Enemy.
Oh. I know who they are.
Probably heart attack.
Sleep apnea complications. I could believe that.
So he just choked
He
in
just
his
choked
sleep?
on
Just so big that his body, his fat was just. Ethan Suplee was talking about that, how he had to sleep sitting up because if he slept on his back, his fat would like
Crush
essentially
him?
it's 400 pounds sitting on your chest.
Oh. So I guess you can just die in your sleep?
Yeah, so you have this machine, a sleep apnea machine. Sometimes it's caused by other things. Like, I know several people that have a sleep apnea machine. Sometimes they're a little chubby, it's mostly with bigger people, but they just stop breathing in their sleep. So you wear this thing over your nose, in your nose, over your mouth, and it's a machine. It's just like, and it's just constantly pumping air in so that your lungs don't collapse and that you automatically exhale.
I had like sleep apnea when I was a kid in high school, but that was from my tonsils falling on my throat.
Huh.
Because my tonsils were so huge, and then I stopped breathing.
You
all
got
the
something
time.
else huge?
I was gonna say.
But damn, my tonsils were big. Now they're gone.
Yeah, I got mine removed when I was 15.
Still have mine.
Lucky duck.
Hopefully they don't get big, and
Yep.
you choke on them.
And then you
That's
gotta
what
have
I
them
used.
removed, and having your tonsils removed when you're an adult or like a young adult like I was sucks. Moving on. Not tonsil related. Junkyard Dog, 45. Does anybody know?
Come on, you got it.
I mean, I feel like he probably. Oh no, that was recently, wasn't it? That was somewhat recently.
It was like 2014.
Yeah. 45.
He was only 45.
No. Sorry, no.
I was gonna say.
No, it was 1998. Sorry. The other one was 2014. The next one up. So, 1952 to 1998. Very similar to Joey Morella.
Car accident.
Starts with a C, ends with R accident. Yeah, he died in a car accident. I'm not trying to make light of these. I'm just trying to, bring some
Yes, you
joy.
are.
Yes, you are.
I'm not trying to disrespect the dead.
No, dude,
Yeah,
we're
I'm just
here.
trying
That's
to
why we have the
make
lights.
it entertaining,
Just set the mood.
Yeah, it's why they're red and blue.
Now
It's
this
really red and blue now.
woo, wee, woo.
We're the Death Police.
Hopefully the screen works.
Yeah, I think we're all right.
Yeah,
we're rolling now.
The Texas
We can
Tornado,
turn on
Kerry
the
Von
other light.
Erich, one-legged wrestler. This
The
is-
one-legged wrestler. And he killed himself.
Yes, he did. Okay,
I mean,
continue.
if you don't have to, I don't have to guess. It's pretty morbid.
Yeah, now it's getting weird.
Louis Spicoli, dead at 27. That was a drug overdose again in 1998. He was the creme de la creme of enhancement talent. Luna Vachon, dead at 48.
Oh yeah, that one was
Drug
sad.
overdose. That was so sad. She was like filming a shoot interview like the night before it happened, and she was like not begging but kind of like jonesing this guy for the guy that was interviewing her. She asked to have her payment in advance. Bam Bam Bigelow did the same thing before they did showed up. They were filming it the next day, and she was like, "Hey, can I have my money in advance? Like, I really need some drugs." Like, she was like in withdrawal.
Yeah.
And did drugs and didn't wake up. Bam Bam Bigelow just got drunk at the bar and pissed himself.
And then died?
No, Bam Bam Bigelow's alive. I sent you the article.
No, he's
Guys.
not.
Not Bam Bam Bigelow. Buff Bagwell.
Oh,
Buff Bagwell.
Yes.
Bam Bam Bigelow was a good guy. Buff Bagwell was the one that there was this ebook that I got that when I was driving to and from Chicago a lot, and it was like this guy that was like started shoot interviews, and he was talking about Buff Bagwell, and I sent you guys that article about Buff Bagwell evading the police while drunk.
That's pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, Luna Vachon, that was sad. Rosie.
Oh, the
47.
Roman Reigns
cousin. Yeah.
They're all related somehow.
Yeah.
2-minute warning. Heart failure.
3-minute warning.
Was it 3-minute warning? I thought it was 2-minute warning because of like football.
I think it's 3-minute. What the fuck do I know?
I don't know. Matt Capitelli.
That was the Tough Enough guy.
Yeah, 38. Brain cancer. He was the one that you
Wow, I didn't know that one.
He was the one that you couldn't understand because he was from Louisiana. He was the alligator wrestler.
He's the one that got hit by Bob Holly, right?
Yeah, Bob Holly lit him up.
Like, beat the shit out of him. Yeah. 2018, he died of brain cancer.
Good job, Bob Holly. You gave him brain cancer.
Mike Awesome, dead at 42.
Dude, that one sucks because I really feel like Mike Awesome, if given the proper light and like a better character, that he would have been fucking awesome. Like, he was so cool in the ring. That match at ECW One Night Stand between Mike Awesome and it wasn't super crazy. Who was it? It was somebody. It's so fucking good. Mike Awesome One Night Stand. Japanese?
Masato Tanaka.
Yeah, Tanaka.
Yeah, so this is actually kind of fucked. I didn't know about this. Fearing for her life, his wife called the police, and Alfonso also was arrested and charged with domestic abuse. While he was in jail, his wife visited him and told him that she was going through with the divorce and taking their 2 children. After Mike Awesome was released from jail, he returned to his home in Tampa, Florida. At some point soon after, he hung himself, most likely because he was facing criminal charges and had lost his family. It is also possible that he did not find the career in real estate that he launched after his retirement to be so satisfying. His body was discovered by a group of friends on February 17th, 2007. He had just turned 42 a month before his death. I didn't know that, man. That's crazy. This one I do know, too. Mike Bell. 37. He was a jobber, but his brother made a documentary that's called Bigger, Stronger, Faster, and it's about steroids. And this was his brother. All of their dreams were to make it to make it to the WWE, but they were all like, you know, like stocky kind of guys. And his brother Mike started doing steroids and like working out, and
What, did he
killed
die
himself.
Oh, he killed himself.
Or a drug overdose. It was like he got into an argument with his wife. Did some drugs, didn't wake up.
Do using steroids, does that cause like a psychosis of some sort that people like tend to use other drugs, or like why?
I mean,
you know
like,
some people.
Yeah, I mean, I know plenty of people that are on steroids. I think kind of why I brought up this episode was that to bring up the common theme of what the job does to your body and how you supplement things to get through it. So steroids, yeah, I mean, like, it breaks down your body. Like, your body's going to break down faster. Because in steroids, what they do is your body is always in an antibiotic state. So
Antibiotic state is what you said. No,
antibiotic.
Antibiotic.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
It's like your your muscles never get tired. They're always at their fullest. So your body, they're gonna break down sooner. So you get hurt a lot easier that you're on it because your muscles are always growing and getting tighter, and you're never really lean. So you take drugs or painkillers to get through it, and then.
So you're always just like balancing like a cocktail of drugs.
Drugs, yeah.
What was the episode? Was it the Pillman episode? There was another episode where maybe it was the Warrior one. It was one of them that's not around anymore. But they would say that he would take cocaine before the match, or like cocaine in the morning to wake up, and then he would take like almost like a Quaalude or like a painkiller after the match, like put himself like essentially like to do the. They were balancing, kind of like how I used to do back in the day when I was like in the throes of it. Like I would go out to the bar, I'd get fucking trashed, I'd be drunk, I'd do some cocaine to wake me up a little bit, I'd do a little bit more and wake me up, I'd be driving home like doing little bumps,
Do you
And
want
then-
me to cut this?
No, you don't have
So-
to. I'm open
Alright.
about it. You know, I talk to people about it all the time, and then I would make it home, and then I would just drink more to have the cocaine wear off, and I would just go to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's what addiction is.
Yeah.
Like, you
I
get
don't
to
do
a-
cocaine anymore. The only drugs I do is weed and alcohol, and I
So steroids again also it fucks with your testosterone levels,
Yeah.
which is gonna at a certain point kind of make you feel like you're going crazy.
yeah,
right?
because you're going through puberty again.
more than yeah.
You're going through puberty as an adult.
So yeah, like the stress, like it fucks with you a lot, and mentally.
Have you ever taken
Body
steroids?
Have I? I've never.
Oh, okay. I thought this
You've
was
never
leading
gassed?
to-
You never
No.
gassed.
I have thought about it.
Well, I mean,
Like, how-
people take like HGH now, right? Or
Yeah,
that's what-
there's other ways to do certain things now.
So is there a difference between HGH and like anabolic steroids?
Yeah.
So like, what do you know that does anybody know?
HGH is a hormone that your body creates naturally.
Yes.
That you can just put back in your body because you lose it as you get older. I know that.
Yeah.
Past that, I don't
More
know
or less.
anything because I've never taken steroids.
Yeah. I mean, it's a hormone like testosterone.
Yeah, I just know that. I just knew that from that documentary that that Mike Bell's brother did is that it's just like essentially the way they described it is like you're just flooding your body with testosterone. And it's like remember when you were or whenever you went through puberty, I was 13, when like all of a sudden like you're just like excited all the time.
Yeah, mood
you're going
swings,
through
all
fucking
kinds of
mood
shit.
swings. You want to look at titties all the time. You're taking a magnet to your mom's TV so you can unscramble Spice Channel. Like Mike Von Erich dead at 23. Sorry to just move on like that. Yeah, but anyways, moving on. Mike Von Erich dead at 23, suicide. Miss Elizabeth dead at 42.
Drug abuse.
Yep.
And she was with Lex Luthor.
Lex Luthor at the time.
Nancy Benoit dead at 43.
We know that
Murdered.
one.
Owen Hart dead at 34. I want to see what they put down for this one.
I mean, accidental death.
Blunt
probably.
force trauma from accidental fall.
Sounds about
And
right.
that is a Dark Side of the Ring that made me cry.
It's great Dark Side of the Ring.
Peter Maivia dead at 45.
the High Chief, dude.
High Chief, cancer. Richard Trogdon, he was a doink. He was Pink the Clown.
No clue. How about
He's this one. One of the mini doinks. I thought it was one of the doinks. Okay, I'm sorry. Just
No
like a
clue.
mini Vader, I thought it was Vader. Sorry. Randy Anderson, the referee. He is dead from cancer as well. 2002. He's 42. Fake Razor Ramon. Rick Bognar, dead at 49. Undisclosed causes.
Kane still alive?
Yes.
Fake
Fake
Diesel.
Diesel still kicking.
Is with great sadness that I share some news with Rick's Facebook friends. On September 20th, Rick passed away suddenly and unexpectedly at the young age of 49. It's tough to comprehend and will likely never sink in fully. I mean,
Thanks.
thanks, man. Rick Rude, dead at 40.
That was a crazy one.
Heart failure,
Heart
99.
failure. I mean, heart failure more than likely through steroids. Yeah.
So if it's heart failure, are we just going to assume steroids?
I mean, you can.
Yeah.
And
Road Warrior Hawk, dead at 46. He
He
went
was
to go...
clean at the time.
Yeah, he went to go take a nap and had a heart attack in his sleep.
I hope that never happens to me.
That now that
mean, like,
now
I'm
that
just a
one
little
of my good
nervous.
friends, Mason, is my coworker. He's 70. Cool as shit, dude. But he's like, man, buddy. Like he'll be out back like smoking. And I just stand out there, like, because I used to smoke, so I just stand out there with him. It's like just a routine I keep up. We'll just talk about life and stuff. And he's like, man, coming here is a break from home, you know, right? Kathy got me bending over backwards. But he'll be like, he goes, man, buddy, I hope when I die, it's just heart attack, just drop dead. I can't snap right now. There we go. He's just like,
I mean, I think that's
dead
an
like
older
that.
person thing. Like,
I
you
would
want it to be quick?
they want to be quick.
I
Yeah.
want it to be dramatic.
I want to be like jumping
like-
out of a building on
Yeah.
fire, two guns blazing, like there's a terrorist coming after me. Like,
How do you guys want people to be at your funerals?
okay, so I already have my funeral planned out.
All right, let's make it quick.
Okay, real quick. Okay, so
We're at an hour and we've gotten not that far.
we don't know. This is it. We only have a couple more left.
All right.
Let's just
Let's
no-
roll these off and we'll discuss our own funerals.
Road Warrior Hawk, dead in his sleep. Rocco Rock, the other Public Enemy. He heart attack at the age of 49. Sean O'Hare,
oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I loved Sean O'Hare when I was a kid.
suicide
He was
at the
in-
age of 43.
He was with Sean Stasiak.
Yes.
That tag team ruled. And now Sean Stasiak is a chiropractor or a back doctor or something like that.
I never know how to pronounce this guy's name. Shahid Gaspard?
Oh.
No, you got it right the first time.
Yeah.
What is it, Shahad?
No,
Shad.
Shad Gaspard. Because I've heard it pronounced a million different other ways.
It was a
That is the
drowning?
story, yeah. He saved his son, and then because it was like
It was a riptide.
It was a riptide, and like a boat or somebody came by, or a lifeguard, and he was like essentially drowning while holding up his son, like trying to yell like "Save my son," and they were trying to save him, and he just kind of threw his son at them and went under. Yeah. Sherry Martel, dead at 49. How did she die?
I believe it was drugs.
Drug overdose, yes it was. Man, Nick, you're on a roll. Dr. Death Steve Williams, dead at 49. Throat cancer.
Throat cancer, yeah.
Yeah, what'd you think, Swindle?
I was going to say heart failure.
Terry Gordy, dead at 40. I did not mean for that.
Terry Gordy, dead at 40.
Heart attack in 2001. Sorry, this again. No, I'm just trying to lighten up the mood.
Oh, dude, it's totally cool. Death is scary.
Fake Road Warrior, the Renegade, suicide in 1999. Events: the former professional wrestler stayed out of the spotlight and kept to himself. He began to suffer from depression by February 99. It seemed that he had spiraled out of control. On the 23rd of that month, the Renegade chose to end his life. He died by suicide due to a gunshot wound to the head. He was 33 years old. Man, he was
That's
my
a crazy
age.
way to go.
Yeah.
Gunshot to the head. I mean, I guess if you want to make it quick, but
I know a guy that tried that and he missed and blew his jaw off.
all right.
Yeah, it's one of Corwin's friends, the kid that always wore the bandana that was over at my mom's house.
Oh.
Yeah, he wore that because he, the way I described it is he looked like Harvey Dent. He had like part of his cheek was just missing.
I just thought he was always wearing a mask because he was a thug.
No, he was a juggalo, and I'm a juggalo sympathizer.
That's fucking nuts. A poor
Trent,
kid.
yeah, dude, like we threw a charity show for him and everything.
Trent Reznor?
Trent Acid.
Not Trent Reznor, Trent Acid. This was a
We
sad
did not
one.
show a Trent Acid charity show, but he drug overdosed at the age of 29.
This was a sad one.
Who's he?
He was a Pennsylvania guy.
Like CZW kind of dude. You'd probably know more
this
than
was
me.
recent, right?
2010.
No, yeah.
11 years ago.
Okay, no.
Do
I
you-
was wrong.
He wrestled with Greg's promotion up in like the Harrisburg area. I think it's called like GXW or something.
Okay.
He was also subject to the documentary Card Subject to Change that was on Netflix for a long time.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Trent's body was discovered by his mother. The Philadelphia Examiner ruled death by accidental drug overdose. And then there was huge memorandums for him. Do you know any more about it, or?
I mean, that's just what happened.
Yep. Umaga, dead at 36.
Damn, he was 36? I thought he was older than that.
No, and that was drug overdose. And then Yokozuna, dead at 34.
Yeah, he was
And
super
that was
young.
pulmonary edema. Now, one person they're skipping on here that is definitely on. There's a Wikipedia one as well, and that one has them all categorized. I was going to talk about local legend or hero Shane Shamrock.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, he was murdered by the police. Yeah.
I don't know who Shane Shamrock is.
He was the first
light heavyweight champion.
light
for
heavyweight
MCW.
champion for MCW, and
He was murdered by the police. That's pretty fucking crazy.
yeah, they showed up to his house, and he was evading the. He was 23 after being fatally shot by the police during an altercation in Glen Burnie. Officers were responding to a 911 call from his girlfriend when he was killed after threatening her with a kitchen knife. He was posthumously named a lifetime MCW light heavyweight champion until the organization retired the title for a month. This through the Shane Shamrock Cup Memorial Cup. You're giving me a look like that was all false.
No, it's my eye.
Oh, okay, yeah, sorry, yeah. Also, these lights are making it spoopy in here.
Oh yeah, we're fighting daylight, baby.
Yeah, because it's raining outside. But they do the Shane Shamrock Memorial Cup, which Leo Rush won twice. He won it 2 years in a row.
I have no idea.
And then Adam Cole won it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Didn't know Adam Cole did MCW.
Yeah, that's where
Oh,
he
and
got
Joey
his start.
Janela did it as well. He didn't win the cup, but he was in the tournament.
Yeah, Adam Cole got to start. In the Delaware, Philly area, but he was a mainstay in MCW for a very long
I remember
time.
seeing him there.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's from Lancaster. Lancaster. But so back to funerals and how I want to die.
All right.
Okay,
Let's
people.
end it.
Jesus.
So this is how we're gonna end the show. Here's how I want to die. I already gave a couple of instructions to a couple of different people. So what I want is I want a grave that just says
That's what happens.
a headstone. I don't want to be buried, but I want a headstone, and I just want it to say Andrew Johnson, born in the year 1987, died in the year 20XX, like in the Mega Man games. They would always say in the year 20XX because they did.
Died in your arms tonight.
No, and then I want that to be.
I think I remember you saying that.
I
before.
wanted that to be, or I wanted the musical notes for that to be on there somewhere, and then I want my ashes loaded just into a cannon, like the one that you shoot people out of, but I just want them loosely, like loaded in there, and
you want it to rain down on people
over a rager. That is, so I just want a huge rager. And then there's a specific song I want played, and I've sent it to you guys. It's the Earth, Wind, and Fire management mashup of September with...
We're all going to be old as fuck when you die, and we're going to have to remember all this.
It's written in my will. It's literally written in my will, and Matt has a copy of it. Because he's the executor of my will. But yeah, so... I just want a huge ass rager, just like we planned on doing with my mom in next month. Yeah. So, Nick, how do you want your funeral to go?
I have never thought about it.
I also would just
think about it.
I think I would also just donate my body to science, just not be a burden to anybody.
Do you want people to be happy or sad?
I want them to be.
My thing is, I want people to be very sad.
I want people to
like,
be so sad that they're happy.
I mean, I've thought about it in a sense of like, I would want people to be sad, and I've thought about like who do I think would be the. It's weird that we have these thoughts as people, though, right? It's fucking weird that we think about it.
Yeah.
Well, also
that we think about death, or that we think about.
Yeah, no, but all of it. Like, who would we want at our funeral? What do we want with our body when we're dead?
The fucking thunder right when you were
Right?
saying
Yeah,
that.
no, but the thing
Yeah.
is too is like being somebody that has had to deal with.
Is that the
like,
Undertaker coming?
It's so weird. It's eerie that this conversation is happening. Hopefully you can still see us. But yeah, it is weird that we think about this shit.
So, like,
but you gotta think about it.
So somebody that has had to essentially pay and like deal with like two people's like funerals, both of my parents, they're fucking expensive. To get somebody cremated is like $3,000,
And that's the cheap option.
and that's cheap.
And you can't take care of it yourself.
No, because that's illegal.
Yeah,
no, but like
crazy.
for example, like it was $3,000 for them to put my mom in an oven for 2.5 hours at 800 degrees until she was just char. Put her in a cardboard box. They put her in a bag, and she's in my closet now. You guys want to go say hi?
no,
I've
experienced it.
And then my dad,
Yeah.
we actually, because he was part of the military, he's a member of the AFW or the American Legion, VFW, all that stuff. We actually were able to like, we just had to pay for his cremation, and which again was like $2,500, $3,000, and then they paid for the headstone. And then when we took him down there, my mom, he had this this thing that he got in Greece, and it was a Greek like jar, and it said tobacco on it in Greece, because my dad loved to roll cigarettes, like that was his thing. So we were gonna put his ashes in there and bury him in that, because he used to keep his tobacco in there, like it was his thing. He was too big, so my mom and I had to pour him back into the box, and then we ended up putting him in an ammo can, because he loved shooting guns and loading ammo and all that. So he's in Greenville, Tennessee, in between my grandparents and next to his brother in an ammo can, 6 feet under with just a generic.
Oh, you buried it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. And then we were gonna, and then my mom was like, just spread my ashes in the water. Like, so.
Yeah,
But
I mean, like, I know, like, my dad wants to be buried. He wants to be cremated, and he wants his ashes to be buried with our dogs.
Wait, your dogs are buried
in your backyard?
No, they're both cremated.
Bury that, like, he goes down, like, when you put his remains or his urn in the ground.
Yeah.
Not trying to be so dead blunt about it, but, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He didn't mention anything about your mom. He was just like, put me with the dogs.
Put me with the dogs.
I think my mom has a plot because so my mom's parents were morticians.
Oh, what?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's sick. It's cool.
I mean, I was too young to know anything about it, but yeah.
Wasn't it Gotch or
Han,
yeah.
Oh.
Mhm.
I don't know what that is. It sounds familiar.
It's a local one.
local, yeah.
Yeah. Swindle, what about you?
I don't know. I have no clue, you know?
Happy or sad?
I want everybody to be sad.
Rager or funeral?
I don't think a rager would be
Not a rager, but
appropriate.
like what we did for my dad, like just people coming over
I
and
think
just
people
like
should hang out,
just hanging out, drinking,
tell
like,
stories. When my granddad passed away, his request was that everybody would just have a little get together and tell stories about him. And I was like, everybody was sad, but it was the nicest way to do it.
So there is like this new, like not new, but newer, like since like the 90s, like, you know, with Babe Ruth, like legends live forever, heroes never die. You're not like the saying NERD, no one ever really dies. That's like from as long as you keep his spirit and his name and his life alive, he's not dead. The only time somebody truly is dead is when they're forgotten. You know, like
which
when there's
will all be forgotten.
Yeah, eventually.
That's why we're documenting this shit. So
and YouTube will never die.
Yeah, it'll get bought out by Peacock.
Everything's getting bought by Peacock.
Yeah, but anyways, sorry to have a morbid episode and to end on a downer.
And we've lost a lot of light because the storm's coming in.
Yeah, so
Maryland weather, am I right?
Bring your wallet. So, Nick, do you have anything you want to plug, chug? Anything like that?
Plug chug.
Plugs or chugs, man. You were on a recent. You cheated on us with another podcast.
Yeah, that's out.
How was it?
It was fun. It was
I
really
haven't
fun.
listened to it yet.
Yeah, that was good.
Well, it was baseball.
Sam
themed,
is
so
awesome.
Yeah.
I love having
Sam's
him on the
good.
podcast.
Sam's great.
I would love to have Sam on, just like talk about, because he's a little bit older than us, so we can just compare, like, you know, like generationally, like.
Also, his last name. I know his last name from like growing up. Like there were always La Martinas around.
He's from like Highlandtown.
I'll find out. I'll ask.
Well, we're gonna find you.
My mother, and my father.
Do you have any plugs or chugs, Brian?
No.
Any music you're working on or anything?
I'm working on a lot of music, but
yeah,
nothing that's announced. So
I put together a 167-pound piano by myself today at my day job, and then they were like, "Can you stick around?" And I said, "No, I got to go to my other job." And they said, "What is your other job?" And I said, "I have a podcast, and I've gotten paid like a fraction of a cent, so I consider that income." So yes, that is a job.
Enjoy the police lights on this.
But yeah, so thank you for listening. This has been Young and the Restless. Those are our plugs and chugs. Sorry it's a little downer, a little longer, and I'm gonna go now. Bye.
Bye.